Okay, so the mysterious figure in the Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness trailer has been a big talking point on the internet. It's pretty much become the blue and gold dress of the comic book community, and throughout this video we're going to be discussing whether you hear Laurel or Yanni. I'm just kidding, I think we know who it is. After enhanced screenshots have now hit the web, we can see that the figure looks extremely like Lashana Lynch, aka Maria Rambeau. During the time of filming, the actress was coming hot off the heels of No Time to Die, and thus her hair would have also been roughly the length that we see in the split-second shot. It was theorized that this might actually be Tom Cruise in a superior Iron Man suit, but I think when you hold this image side by side with Lynch, that they look pretty much exactly the same. Now this has been discussed on Twitter all week, with some saying that the facial features look slightly off and that they don't line up completely. Whilst there are some minor inconsistencies, I think that this is probably down to the one we see actually being a CGI model. When producing CGI heavy films, actors often get a full body scan so that their features and frames can be replicated in a movie. They could do this practically, but it would involve tons of wirework training on Lynch's behalf, and they'd also have to get in a team to help propel her in the air. Even with all that, we wouldn't get the smooth flying motion that we see in the trailer, and thus I think that this is simply a CGI model. The features are slightly off because that's just what tends to happen when a digital model is used, and you only have to look at older movies to see that's the case. Look at the bloody Scorpion King. Look at him. What the hell is this? I'm sure they've gotten better since then, but yeah, I still don't think it's an exact science, and this looks way more like Lashana Lynch than it does Tom Cruise. So no, I don't think it's Iron Man, and I even saw comments saying that it might be this, and I just can't anymore. Now, I think what's likely happened in this dimension is that Maria took the flight at Project Pegasus instead of Carol Danvers. Being attacked by the Kree could have led to her shooting the Tesseract and then being blasted with its blue light, which the character also has emanating from her. Captain Marvel also ages at a slower rate, and thus she could still end up being young in a time when Mordo is the same age as he is in the MCU timeline. So I think that sort of settles it. I think the dress is blue, you only hear Yanni, and we're out here righting the wrongs of the internet. Huge shoutouts to Update 007 on Twitter for posting that image, and I think this massively helped to clear things up. But what about the rest of the Illuminati? Well, that's what we're going to be breaking down in this video, and if you're enjoying it so far, we'd massively appreciate the thumbs up. Also, make sure you subscribe for videos like this every day, and with that out of the way, huge thank you for clicking this. Now let's get into the rest of the video. Okay, so the biggest part of the trailer has Patrick Stewart's voice coming in at the midpoint.
I'm sorry, Stephen. Your desecration of reality will not go unpunished. We should tell him the truth.
Because of this, Professor X was trending all week, and we now know that at least a variant of him will be featuring in the film. This won't be the one from the Fox timeline, as he was killed during Logan, but as we know from Loki and No Way Home, you can have similar characters out there on alternate Earths. When we see the shot from Strange's back, you might also notice that there are several members sitting in chairs, with there being one absent in the middle. This is because Professor X uses a wheelchair, and therefore I think this pretty much confirms it's Xavier, but beyond that, it could hint towards him being the leader of the council. Now it's likely that he's part of the Illuminati, who were introduced in the comics in the build-up to Civil War. Made up of Professor X, Iron Man, Namor, Black Bolt, Reed Richards, Black Panther and Doctor Strange, they controlled worldly events from behind the scenes. Operating in the shadows, they tried to steer humanity on a certain path, but over time they ended up going their separate ways when the group clashed over several things. I think bringing them into the MCU is a really smart move, and we know at least one member is Professor X, but what about the rest? Well, as we go into the room, we can see a character walking along the top. If we pause the video and then zoom in on them, you can see that this appears to be Mordo. In the first trailer, you might remember the shot in which he was fighting Strange, and going back to that, it's clearly in this room. Stephen has handcuffs around his wrists that get placed onto them in this moment, and therefore I think that Mordo is on the council. What may have happened in this reality is that Defender Strange was killed, and this is why they have a statue to commemorate him. This would also explain the zombie one that appeared in the TV spot, and on the back of his head we can catch a ponytail. We know that Defender Strange had one too, and therefore it all kind of ties together that he's the bad one. In his death, the council would have had a need for a wizard, and thus Mordo might have stepped in order to fill his place. We know from the toy leaks that this version is called Master Mordo, and therefore he's likely a variant who's just filling the wizard position in the group. So that's 3 members down, so we think, yeah? Now, we can catch someone with long hair, and though it's been theorized that this could be a version of Thor, I actually think that it's Captain Carter. The poster that was released alongside the trailer actually features her shield in the shattered glass, and therefore I think it's a safe assumption to make that she will feature in the film at some point. Potentially the council is made up of people that look over the multiverse and protect it, and therefore she could be the version that we met in What If. She's already had a multiverse spanning battle, and therefore I think getting her to protect the entire thing would make a lot of sense. Now there is one more figure that remains, he who remains you could say, and in total there are 7 chairs, but we only have enough people on screen in the teaser to guess at 5 of them. That's also going off the potential that Maria Rambeau is a member too, so there may just be 4 figures we can theorise are in the Illuminati. Now the last one is the most mysterious of all, and after zooming in, all that we can really see is some emblems on their chest. Computer enhance to the power of 20. So yeah, very difficult to make out, especially as Marvel insist on uploading trailers that were exported on iMovie. Now there are several possibilities over who this could be, with the most likely one being Reed Richards. He was of course a member of the group in the comics, and we know from the Phase 4 announcement that the Fantastic Four are coming. John Krasinski is rumoured to be playing him, and with Marvel delivering on so much fan service recently, it makes sense that they go with casting that everyone has been crying out for years. Next we have potentially Black Panther, who was also a member of the team. Though Chadwick Boseman sadly passed away, we are dealing with the multiverse, and they might have brought across Michael B. Jordan's Killmonger to play him like what we had in What If. I am leaning more towards Reed though, and we might even get the version from the Fantastic Four movie. Potentially, I don't know, were they good? I can't really remember, but no is the answer I'm guessing. And moving on, we still have several seats there, and Marvel might have even removed those in them through the use of CGI. We know that the studio has a penchant for doing this sort of thing, and just in the same way that Andrew and Toby weren't in the No Way Home trailers, this could be something similar. There are rumours that Tom Hiddleston will be appearing in the movie as Loki, and potentially we might get a version of him from across the multiverse who stepped into the shoes of He Who Remains. I'm not sure how that would work with the multiverse, and whether there's just one who oversees it all, or with them being broken open, that there's now several. That kind of takes us into the possibility though that it could be Kang, or one of his many variants. We know from the end of Loki that there are several of them out there, and for every evil one, there could be a good one to match. This would set up Kang to be on the council, and in the comics there was also a council of Kangs who oversaw things in the multiverse. Either way, there's still a lot of spare seats, and I'd love to hear your theories on who you think is going to be filling those chairs. We are really at the point now where Marvel can do anything, and they could bring across old characters from other franchises, or introduce new versions of them in this movie. Let me know below, and as a thank you, you'll be entered into a competition where we're giving away 3 June box sets on the 28th of Feb. All you have to do to be in with a chance of winning is like the video, make sure you subscribe with notifications on, and drop a comment below with your thoughts on the video. We pick the comments at random at the end of the month, and the winners of the last one are on screen right now, so if that's you, then message me on Twitter at HeavySpoilers. If you want something else to watch, make sure you check out our breakdown of the insane details in the trailer, which will be linked on screen right now. We found some really cool ones you might have missed, so definitely go head over there right after this. With that out of the way, thank you for sitting through the video. I've been Paul, let's see you in the next one. Take care, peace.